Good morning, legends. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining us. Today we are going to tackle this puppy. This is the second episode. So I've kind of been on the fence whether I need to tackle the interior or the engine. So since I posted that first video, we've actually had a magnificent response from the historic community, and it's been really great and humbling. I've received a lot of information around the history of these cars that raced in the early 80s. So there's some really fantastic history around this car. So looks like we're going to be leaning towards building it according to those regulations, which is magnificent to recreate something that raced in our South African history. Is just amazing. So I'm very excited to be a part of that, and yeah, but again, there's still lots of challenges ahead. So that's why I was kind of deciding whether to tackle the interior or the engine first. There's a lot that needs to be done in terms of getting the engine to that spec. So I'll reveal all of that, I think, in the next episode. But for now, we're just going to take this puppy out. It is quite a process on these cars, but we're just going to have to go through the motions and do it. So stick with us. Let's see how we go.
But I kept searching for your trace in the dark, losing myself in the endless memories of the end right from the start. You're an obsession in my head, I can't forget your eyes. Your kisses burn my skin, I feel so empty inside.
So this is what came out of where the battery was. So who knows how long this has been in there. Obviously this is a bunch of rust and years of caked up crap sitting on here. So let's go into the bin. So looks like there is some rust on this chassis. So we're just going to have to see. The other chassis leg is fine. That is obviously due to the battery sitting there over the years. But it doesn't actually look too bad. You know, this isn't. Yes, it's a structural member, but it's right at the front. It's not that load bearing because the shock turret is there, the top of the shock absorber, and then obviously the double wishbone suspension picks up also somewhere around here. So most of the load is getting transferred from there to there, etc. So this is right at the front, so I don't think it's a major issue. It doesn't look like too bad, but we'll have another look once the engine's out and we can properly assess the situation, but I don't think that's major. We can cut out what we can, clean it up, and then just patch it, so I think it'll be fine.
Myself in the endless memories of the end right from the start. You're an obsession in my head, I can't forget your eyes. Your kisses burn my skin, I feel so empty inside.
So for those of you who were wondering, this is what happens if you don't This is what happens if you don't clean your filter and oil it. So it basically lets a bunch of crap through, and that's because this thing is hideous. I don't think it's ever been cleaned. So here's a tech tip, okay? Obviously there's mountains of information about cold air intakes and all of that funny stuff on the internet, but the deal with these is there's an argument that says motocross bikes use foam filters. So why can you not use it on a road car? So basically this is through experience. You can use one of these. You can use a panel filter, which is a cotton filter or a foam filter. Okay, just understand that you have to clean this thing. If it's a road car application, you're probably going to have to clean it once a week, and that means take it off, soak it in a detergent that's going to pull the oil off. What I do is petrol first, and then a strong detergent. So the petrol gets the oil off, and then the detergent gets the mud and the dirt off. Then you rinse it out, you leave it to dry, and you re-oil it. So yes, dirt bikes, off-road bikes use foam filters, but those filters are cleaned after every ride. Every single ride you have to clean that filter. So there is a tiny bit more flow. If, let's say, all things being equal, you use your standard intake pipe, your standard airbox, and you just put a panel filter, there will be an increase in flow. It will be marginal though, but there is definitely an increase over a paper filter. Just understand, you need to get a cold air feed to that filter, number one, and number two, you have to clean that thing. If it's a race car, every race you have to clean it. If it's a road car, you're going to have to clean it at least once a week. So the maintenance doesn't really, if it's a road car, the maintenance doesn't really offset the increase in performance. It just doesn't make sense. If you don't clean it, what happens is the oil that's on the filter basically gets caked in dirt, and it stops doing its job. The function of the oil is to catch the dirt. The gauze and the cotton or foam is to stop the bigger particles. So there will always be some sort of small fine particles that come through. So yeah, if you don't clean this, it will destroy your valve seats and eventually the ball, because it'll just form a grinding paste on the cylinder wall and prematurely heat up your rings, so, and the ball and the piston. So just understand, there is a very small percentage of performance to be gained, but the maintenance is very high. If it's a race car, it's a different story because you're maintaining that thing almost every race. But if it's a road car, I just don't see the benefit. Just doesn't make sense in terms of the maintenance. If you have nothing and you want to install something that's going to work, that's fine. You can do that. Just also understand that in the engine bay, this will now suck in a lot of hot air that's in the engine bay already. So you have to supply a cold air feed to this. And then the ideal situation would be is that you box it off from the engine bay and just let it draw from the front of the car or somewhere where there is a cold air supply. So that's the deal with these things. So here's a quick update. I've got the radiator out. We're just taking all of the systems off, the fuel and everything. So obviously get the fuel lines off, got all the radiator lines off. I'm busy with the clutch now. So that's the clutch cable out the way. So the other thing is this car is really old. So there's a lot of dirt, there's a lot of just a lot of really weird stuff on the car because it's been repaired over and over and over again. I'm also labeling all this is for the gearbox, it's a reverse light. So yeah, it's just a slow process to get everything out. So just going through the motions. Okay, so we are getting very close. I put my groveling outfit on. Okay, so what we have to do next is I have to take the side shafts out. So this is what the manual recommends to loosen the center nut. Obviously we need to loosen this nut. We need to loosen this nut to pull the side shaft out. So first you loosen that nut, then you loosen the top tapered ball joint from this. So there's a nut on the back side of that. You loosen that, then you have to break the wishbone apart, let the hub fall this way so you can pull the side shaft out that way. So the reason we have to take the side shafts out is because obviously this whole gearbox and engine are going to lift up and come out like this. So you need to get both drive shafts out. But to get them out of here, you obviously need to take them off of the hubs. So basically that's what we're going to do. Okay, this thing has been fighting me the whole day. Got the side shafts out. Both of them are out now. So all I have to do now is rig up the crane. Actually, sorry, I've got to cut this exhaust off because it's welded in such a way that you have to cut it anyway to get the rest of the silencer off. So I have to cut it off here, either there or there. Figure it out now. Once I've cut it off, I can bring the engine crane, suspend the engine, take off the engine mounts, and then hopefully get it out of there. So it's been a bit of a struggle. It's about 5 hours in. And it's also just because a lot of the stuff is old, it's rusted, and it takes a while to get it out. So yeah, let's hit it. So there you have it, it's done. The magnificent lump of French technology is out. It fought me all the way, it was difficult. It's actually really interesting to see the leaps and bounds we've made in design technology and how easy it is to do things now on these vehicles, and how much thought goes into the servicing, maintenance, and just access to everything in new vehicle design. This obviously is 1970s technology, so there's a lot I'm going to change basically to make things more accessible, and in a race car it's inevitable that the engine's going to have to come out, especially even if you build the world's most reliable engine, it's still going to have to be refreshed every at least one season. So yeah, there's a lot I'm going to do to it, but it's fine. We've got the lump out now. Well, actually, we might or we might not use this engine. All those details will be coming up in the next episode. So I'm going to have to move all this stuff around, make space and everything, but we are making significant progress. The chassis is not looking too bad. There's quite a bit of work involved, but the body's actually quite good. There's a little bit of rust where the battery was, but that's just normal, it's par for the course. So yeah, I think there's an interesting twist coming in the next episode. We're just going to have to see, but there is so much work ahead of us, it's just not even funny. But having said that, this is going to be an amazing car when it's done. It's going to be very unique, and it's going to be fairly quick, I think, considering what it is. So thank you for joining us. It was a bit drawn out, but there was a lot of labor intensive work that just went into taking this lump out. So thank you for joining us. If you like this, maybe consider subscribing, hit the like button, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you. Ciao.